Brazil, Land of the Future, is a declaration of the love Stefan Zweig felt for the country he came to know in 1936. He was 48 years old and a famous writer, but he had lost his homeland and dreamed of the utopia of a new culture of reconciliation at a time when hatred and intolerance were already forcing the roar of cannons in Europe. Brazil, Land of the Future, gave the country and the small imperial town of Petrópolis worldwide projection and is a bestseller even today. But Brazil already inhabited Zweig's fantasy long before, at least since 1927. It was a German count who loved philosophy, the Orient, and travel who sparked Zweig's interest in South America. Born in the Baltic in 1880, 8 years older than Zweig, Hermann Graf Keyserling was a restless spirit. He studied at several universities before taking a trip around the world in 1911 and writing The Travel Diary of a Philosopher. Keyserling did not follow the classical school of German philosophy. He preferred traditional Eastern wisdom, especially that of India. He wrote several books, including The World in Formation and The World Revolution and The Responsibility of the Spirit, the latter with a foreword by the poet Paul Valéry. Interestingly enough, Zweig asked his first wife, Friederike, to initiate contact with the Count. Later, he himself went to meet with him. In a letter dated November 1927, he writes about his impressions of his 2-hour conversation with Keyserling. A year later, in a letter to his Swiss-Argentine friend Alfredo Kahn, Zweig reveals an unexpected and explicit option for South America, specifically Argentina and Brazil. This is a letter of great importance. It is a milestone in the life of Zweig. But it was the South American Meditations by Keyserling, launched in 1932, which fascinated Zweig, as confirmed by philosophy professor Marcelo Paiva, who delved deep into the work of Keyserling and translated one of his books into Portuguese.
O mais decisivo, mais importante em relação ao impacto sobre a sensibilidade do Stefan Zweig, me parece ser a percepção da novidade cultural, da novidade que dizia respeito a um certo modo de existir que percebe Hermann Keyserling no continente sul-americano e também na realidade brasileira. Para Zweig, essa percepção, a visão filosófica que se constrói a partir dela, deve ter representado um estímulo muito poderoso. E essas ideias, sem dúvida nenhuma, vão ecoar, para além disso, de forma muito concreta, naquilo que o próprio Zweig vai escrever no seu famoso livro a respeito do Brasil, Brasil, um país do futuro.
Reading the texts of Keyserling, Zweig confirmed his suspicion.
De que, historicamente falando, a América do Sul poderia vir a desempenhar um papel fundamental em termos de sua importância estratégica mundial. De alguma maneira, ela poderia vir a equilibrar aquilo que no mundo ocidental Keyserling percebe como aspectos ruins, nefastos, o que ele chama de excessiva intelectualização, o que ele chama de uma espécie de vontade indomável de domínio do mundo. Na América do Sul, pelo contrário, prima o ingrediente da sensibilidade, a sensibilidade que leva à fruição da existência, a sensibilidade movendo, portanto, toda a existência e funcionando então como uma possibilidade de criação e, mais ainda, segundo Keyserling, de regeneração de todo o mundo ocidental.
In December of 1932, Zweig again writes to Kahn to organize a trip by Zeppelin to Brazil and Argentina. One senses that he has read, researched, that he has a definite project in mind. Count Keyserling is explicitly mentioned as the author of South American Meditations. The rejection of North American prosperity and a preference for a territory which represented an extension of European humanism is clear.
Übergebe alles Undeutsche dem Feuer! Ich übergebe dem Feuer die Schriften von Karl Marx und Kautsky!
But just a month later, Hitler rises to power, ending the dream. Stefan Zweig arrives in Rio in 1936 en route to Buenos Aires and is enchanted by Brazil and announces, "I will be the Camelot of Brazil in Europe." 4 years later, in 1940, Zweig kept his promise. He spent a few weeks traveling throughout Brazil, gathering material for his book. Brazil, Land of the Future was published in August of 1941 in 6 simultaneous editions.